Hi, welcome to this video. Doug Barry here. I appreciate you being with me. We are offering coming up next week, November 19th and 20th, a couple of free training webinars, 7 p.m. CDT. You can find the link in the description below. Go sign up for this. Again, it's free. We're going to be addressing 3 key things that you and I should do, could do before we are struck, if in fact we ever would be, with an EMP, whether it's an attack from an enemy or it could be something off of the sun from a solar flare. Go out, click the link in the description, and you'll find it. Sign up for this. 19th and 20th of November, 7 p.m. CDT, free training. This is a webinar. We want you to spread the word on this, get the word out to other people. So the election is over and the results are in, and President Trump has won, and pretty handily in many different ways. Popular vote, the Electoral College. We're seeing the GOP now has control of the Senate. The House looks really good at the time we record this. There's conversation that the GOP will win the House. Now, what does this say? Okay, there is hope. What do I mean by that? Whether you like President Trump or not, already the stuff that's coming out is bringing hope to the country. Stock market's up. So in that area, people find hope. Border Patrol. Did you see this? The Border Patrol. Many who had resigned from the Border Patrol went back in. Those who had filled out their resignation papers want to pull them back because they want to stay on board now. Why? Because of hope. It's absolutely true that when you put someone in charge of something who looks like he cares, he or she cares in anything in life, it brings hope. And we're supposed to be instruments of hope in this world. Now, one of the concerns, and this is the temptation that I see that could be coming out of this, though, is that people will start to relax. We'll pump the brakes. We'll slow down a bit. We'll feel like, okay, we got that done. Now we're in good shape. Yes, there is hope because now we have somebody in a position that looks like he and those around him, the cabinet that he's forming, the people that he's putting in charge of this, that, and the other thing, it looks like they care enough and they will actually take action on those things that help America become truly great again and hopefully holier again and hopefully healthier again. If you've been hearing the talk about make America healthy again. So there is hope. But we cannot rest on the laurels, as the saying goes. We cannot rest on our backside and think that the job is over. We still have much to do, not only for our country, for our communities, local, state government and such, for our churches, for our parishes and such, but also for our families, our communities, and even for ourselves. We have a serious responsibility to make sure that we are continuing to prepare body, mind, and soul because we don't know what's around the corner. Now, there are many people out there who suspect that because of everything that was thrown at President Trump in the last, couple few years or so, actually before he became president, even last time, that we will see something happen even before the inauguration in January. There are many people who suspect that. And it would not be out of the playbook when you consider what has happened to President Trump during the campaign. They tried to kill him more than once. They threw lawsuit after lawsuit after him. They tried to smear his name, his family, his businesses. Constantly, this was going on to such a degree that the average person simply would not be able to tolerate it, would not be able to hold up to it emotionally or mentally. But this is a man who did, and he grew in his faith. He posted on September 29th, Feast of the Archangels, he posted the prayer to St. Michael the Archangel. He actually put out a message, Happy Birthday to the Blessed Mother. So yes, there has been a change in this man, and that brings hope as well. But we would not sit back and say, okay, he's showing signs of maybe conversion towards a deeper Christian faith, if not Catholicism. We would never sit back and say, that's enough. He's showing signs of it. We would want, by God's grace, for this man to grow even more, as we want for everybody to grow more in their faith. So we wouldn't sit back and just say, yeah, that's enough. No. Our attitude would be, let's keep moving forward. Same with everything else here regarding our country. There's a pretty long list of things that President Trump is up against when it comes to helping this country be strong and more powerful than ever before, more energy independent, secure the borders. There's a whole very long list of challenges he has to face now, is already facing, and will find extreme resistance from many on the left. We know this is already going on and will continue. So we need to continue to pray. For those of you who started praying a rosary maybe for the first time consistently for the sake of this country, don't stop. Keep it going. For those of you who started to deepen your faith in other areas, going to Mass more, maybe getting to confession more, cleaning up your own life, don't stop just because there has been a positive result. It looks as if God heard our prayers and has decided to give us more time, another window of opportunity to hopefully reach more people for conversion's sake and for the betterment of our nation and our world as a whole, because even other nations are responding to this man in this position of leadership. So we have every reason to continue the prayers, continue the effort in that spiritual world, but also in our own personal world. When it comes to preparing, we have every reason to continue to get prepared because we don't know what's around the corner. As we record this video right now, if you've been following the news at all, you know that, yes, there has been some movement regarding world leaders, but I saw a headline just before we started to record where the leader of North Korea has said that it would be suicidal for the US or any Western allies to in any way get involved more deeply in the conflict with Russia and North Korea, who has now joined the conflict with Russia against Ukraine. So we still got that saber rattling, those threats, that shaking of their armor sort of attitude coming from the more tyrannical people in this world. It's still there. So to think that we don't have international threats and concerns would be, I think, foolish to just think that that's all going to go away. Now, there may be a different approach or tactic that they take, but what it could result in still is something in our country, here on US soil, that could result in something along the lines of what Hamas did to Israel on October 7th, over a year ago, which many that I've talked to, from retired intelligence officers to others out there in the field who know that world, they all believe something is coming. Regardless of who's in the White House, they believe something is coming. If our infrastructure is hit in any way, our water treatment plants, our power grid, our banking system, if any of these things are hit dramatically or seriously, that could really crush much of what this country and the world is all about. So what do you and I do in a case like this? We are offering, coming up next week, November 19th and 20th, a couple of free training webinars, 7 p.m. CDT. You can find the link in the description below. Go sign up for this. Again, it's free. We're going to be addressing 3 key things that you and I should do, could do, before we are struck, if in fact we ever would be, with an EMP, whether it's an attack from an enemy or it could be something off of the sun from a solar flare. If an EMP strikes and damages or takes down the power grid, which is considered a very real possibility by many experts in that field. In fact, I spoke with 2 gentlemen who spent 10 years on the EMP Commission for the United States, and they both say they fully expect something, whether it's an attack against the EMP, against the power grid, rather, with an EMP, or something from the sun, a solar flare that could damage the power grid. What are 3 key things we should be doing right now? Just the top 3 key things we should be doing right now to prepare for the possibility of something like that. And then if it should happen, heaven forbid, what are the things that we should be doing afterward in order to make sure that we are taking care of our duties, our responsibilities, not just for our own safety, but for those around us, those that God has entrusted to our care. And do not be mistaken on that. Most every single one of us has someone that God has entrusted to your care. So again, go out, click the link in the description, and you'll find it. Sign up for this, 19th and 20th of November, 7 p.m. CDT, free training. This is a webinar. We want you to spread the word on this, get the word out to other people. Now, I'll be addressing, of course, things such as the hope that we have after this election. Absolutely. I am thrilled, absolutely thrilled with the way this went, but it is the beginning of a lot of work that needs to be done for our nation and for each and every one of us individually. So this free training is going to address some of those key things based on one of the most serious threats that we have, and that is an EMP, an attack from an enemy or even from the sun that could create such chaos and collapse in our country if the power grid is damaged by it, that it could throw us into a tailspin that may be unrecoverable in some ways. So what should we do? What can we do? What are we able to do from the position that you're in and that I'm in? We're not government officials. We can't, command that $1 billion is spent into hardening the power grid. We don't have that ability. At least I don't. But what I can do is take care of my world to the best of my ability that I live in, and do what I can to protect those that God has entrusted to my care. You need to do the same. We all do, so that we can stand before God with a good, clear conscience that we did our best. And then we trust the rest to God. So again, we pray, we continue to move on, but we take the steps naturally, using not only the free will that God gave us, but the common sense that God gave us, which is part and parcel with the free will. You have free will, but if you don't enact that common sense, if you don't apply the common sense with the free will, that means we're not taking the steps that we need to. All right. I look forward to seeing you all again, November 19th and November 20th, 7 p.m. Central Daylight Time, CDT. Click that link in the description. Go sign up. And let's get moving. Let's keep moving forward. Let's don't slow down. God bless you. We'll see you soon.